Hello, hello, hello. Would you like to admit everybody in?
Okay.
Sure.
There we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the European Healing Miracle Core. I'm just in case you don't know who I am. My name is Mariam, and I am one of the co-hosts of the European Healing Core with our lovely Jana Taylor and Cece, who is also co-hosting today. Welcoming Janet, I could see is here. And welcome to Alicia and welcome Patricia. So lovely to see you. Namaskar, my dear friend. Welcome to Paula. Welcome to Claudia. So today we do have a special treat. We will be having our lovely Dr. Meera joining us today, who will be doing a presentation all about PCOS and women health related issues. When I called her, she was with a patient and she said to me that she is coming, but she said that she was finishing up with a patient, so she will be on her way shortly. So while we're here and waiting for her to arrive, I would love to invite you to do some mamas. Hello, welcome, Luke. Lovely to see you. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. And Dr. Meera is joining us now. So what I'd like to do is I'd love to just welcome you all to just ground and do some mama points, which as we know are subtle energy points, a little bit like acupuncture or acupressure points, just to unblock energy and to bring us into that place of peace and calm, and to help us to be ready to receive what we're about to receive, which is going to be lots of information and new learnings. So, and I can see Dr. Meera has joined us. Welcome. Dr. Meera, we will start with the presentation soon. We're just going into our mamas. So friends, I invite you to just soften your gaze, soften your jaw, and just roll your shoulders back and down, and place your attention on your root chakra and just connecting with that root chakra and drawing in that Mother Earth energy, that nourishing Mother Earth energy. And I invite you to take a deep breath through the nose into the belly and exhaling. And we'll do 2 more. Inhale and exhaling. Inhale and exhaling. Okay, friends. So the first mama we're going to do is this head squeeze mama. And we're going to do it with breath just to slow it right down. So this is one that I do with my students, and it really just brings in that relaxed, calm energy. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then we'll go to our focus mama. And that's just in between the brow. And again, we can do this one with breath. And if you're doing on somebody, it's always recommended to support their head, but on your own head, you don't have to. So when I breathe in, we press, and when we exhale, we move away. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we'll do the temples. This one is also when you use essential oils or ghee, it's really good to improve sleep. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to do 2 more with you. So this one here is really good for reducing anxiety. And I like to do this one with breath because I feel like the combination really helps. So when I breathe in, press, exhale. So I'll move my finger away. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the last mama point that I'm going to do is the memory mama point. Now this is on your left hand, and it's one that Dr. Naram used to do as he was treating patients or writing down anything. He would be pressing the mama point to help him to remember. So this is at the base of the thumb, just here on your left hand, and you can actually use your index finger to press it. And we just press this 6 times, and it's meant to help improve memory. So it's unblocking any energy and helping you to remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I thought I would share that one today because we are going to be listening to a lot of information from our dear Dr. Meera. And I thought we could press this mama while she's speaking if you want to. I know I will be. Dr. Meera Soni is, she is my mentor because I'm a student of Ayurveda, and she was trained in pulse reading by Dr. Naram and Dr. Smita Naram, and she worked with them for 20 years, and she's still working with Dr. Smita Naram. So it gives me great honor to introduce her today. So I think I'm going to, I've just realized, Luke, you're here on the call. Would you like to do a few minutes of meditation, or it's up to you?
Well, you sort of did the little meditation right now.
I think
so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Luke. Okay, so I'm going to, with great honor and pleasure, I'm going to introduce our lovely Dr. Meera Soni. Welcome to the call today.
Hello everyone. How lovely to see all of you. Namaste, and lots of love to all of you, and for being here to listen to me and guide you. I was just looking at, I think majority are women. We've got Luke. So I think, Luke, this will help you to, if you have a partner, wife, or daughter, mother, to understand them better as well, because we're talking about female hormones and how it can affect the body and what can be done for it. So it's not going to go waste for anybody, even if men listen to it, because it will help you to deal with your female partner, colleague in a better way in the long run. So I'll just introduce myself a little bit before we start. Yeah. Like Miriam described, I've been working with Dr. Naram for the last nearly 20 years now. And I was honored, blessed to be trained by him for pulse reading, and his wife, Dr. Smita Naram, both. And I still continue to work very closely with Dr. Smita Naram. And I'm based in London, and I practice here at the moment. And there are a few students on this group as well, whom I'm a mentor to and whom I teach. They come to the clinics to learn pulse reading. They also, some of them also organize a small events for a talk for other of their groups or friends and family, and we pick up one subject and we can talk on, and just to enlighten more about Ayurveda, about natural healing, about diet, about home remedies. There are so many simple things that we can use on our day-to-day basis and help heal ourselves. We don't always have to rely on conventional medicines. Every path has its own limitations, but if you make changes to your lifestyle, you can have a sustainable health, and you can look after yourself much better. Yeah. I will now start to share a screen. I'm talking more about PCOS in today's talk, but I'll be also covering a lot of other female issues, because it's all related with hormones. A lot of things in a woman's body are related to hormones, and that will help you even if you have a teenager who's going through puberty, or if you yourself are perimenopausal, menopausal. It will help you to understand your body better, or even help your friends and family in a way that they can look after themselves in a better way. Because the way I always say, a woman's body is very complex. We go through a lot of changes all the time, and being a woman itself is a great gift from God that we have, which I think is precious. Okay, Mariam, I'm not able to share my screen, so if you give me the option.
I'm just asking, I was just messaging Jana now to ask her to make a co-host, because she's the main host of the call. So let me see if I can reach her.
Okay.
I can do that for you, sweetie. Hold on just a second. There we go. You should be able to share your screen now.
Yeah. Okay, just give me a moment. Just a moment here. Okay, so here we are. I'm not very good when it comes to technical stuff with the computers, so I just take a little longer to sort things out. So this is, as you can see, how to treat PCOD naturally, what are the things that you can do that will help you, but moreover to understand the hormones in your body and how we all can help ourselves and others to manage their hormones in a better way in the body. So here a little bit about the Siddha Veda lineage where I come from. So that's Dr. Pankaj Naram and Dr. Smita Naram and Baba Ramdas. So Baba Ramdas is from whom Dr. Smita Naram and Dr. Pankaj Naram have learned Ayurveda and pulse reading, and they have been kind enough to pass it on to all of us, and now we are passing on to the others. So that's Dr. Smita Naram, and there is Jivaka here. Oh God. Yeah, so that is Jivaka, and he's the godfather of Ayurveda, we can say, and he used to be the Ayurvedic consultant for a lot of royal families in India. So what are we going to learn today about PCOS, how we can deal with it naturally? So how to treat PCOS naturally, what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about the herbs that will help you. I'm going to talk about the dietary lifestyle changes. I'm going to talk about some home remedies that's going to help you. And also all these, any hormone related condition does come with some side effects, that is mood swings, weight gain, acne, unwanted facial hair. So we're going to talk about all of this, on how this can help. Fertility is another big side effect or issue that arises from hormonal imbalance in a woman's body. So what as per Ayurveda it is, the female reproductive system, as per Ayurveda, is called the Artha-Vahastrotas. So anything to do with the female hormones, be it menopause, be it perimenopause, be it fibroid, be it dysmenorrhea, be it PCOS, endometriosis, everything comes under Artha-Vahastrotas, and that is all together forms the female reproductive system. So your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, everything comes under Artha-Vahastrotas. So we're going to talk about all of this a little bit in the next slides. So like I mentioned, what is Artha-Vahastrotas? What are the main sites of Artha-Vahastrotas? So your ovaries and breasts are again to do with the Artha-Vahastrotas, because it's all regulated by the female hormones. And the organs directly related to it is your fallopian tubes, your cervical canal, your uterus, your ovaries, everything comes under that. And what is the function of Artha-Vahastrotas? How does the female reproductive system work? What are the functions of a female reproductive system? So conception is one big that we women are blessed with, and we are the ones who can produce or give birth to another human being or living person. And I think that itself is a blessing. And if you can help somebody who's wanting to have a child and can't conceive, that's the biggest gift that you can give anyone. If a woman wants to have one, a lot of women these days decide we don't want to have child, and that's absolutely fine. That's a personal choice. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right. So whatever one feels, however one feels, is what is important, and we should appreciate, acknowledge, or praise their decision, or respect their decision. Yeah, to produce ovum, that is to produce the eggs, to nurture the developing offspring, so to nurture the fetus when a woman falls pregnant, hormone production, regulating the menstrual cycle. These are all the functions of the Artha-Vahastrotas, or the female reproductive system. And what happens is, when there's some imbalance in the hormones that happens in the Artha-Vahastrotas, that is when a lot of health issues in women start to come. And a woman's body, I say, goes through every stage, every month, a woman's body is going through hormonal changes. It's not that only when you conceive or when you deliver a baby or when you're going through menopause. Every month when you get your periods, your body is going through some or the other hormonal changes. And not everyone around you understands that. Not everyone around you understands why you have a tummy ache. Not everyone is at work is going to be a bit compassionate about it, that okay, she's going through that phase, it's that time of the month. And a lot of men, I would say, don't understand that. Nowadays the times have changed and the men have evolved and they do understand it as well. But in the olden days, nobody used to understand, and they would think, oh, what's the big deal about it? Why sit with a tummy ache? How can it be so bad? How can you be so irritable? How can you be so how can you go through these mood swings from 0 to 100? But it does happen. A lot of us go through it. Some go through it, some don't go through it. So not necessarily everyone would have it, but majority of us go through. There'll be some food cravings, there will be cramps in the legs, there will be back pain, all sorts of things. That's why I say a woman's body is very, very complex. So what are the symptoms when there are any imbalances in the Artha-Vahastrotas? Infertility is one. There is changes in menstrual cycles, so delayed menstrual cycle, or some women get bleeding twice, some women bleed once, and there's continuous spotting in between the cycles as well, abnormal pregnancies, recurrent miscarriages, weight gain, mood swings. These are all coming from any kind of an imbalance that happens in the Artha Bahasrotas. If you all have any questions, please ask me towards the end. And if you think I'm going too fast, do let me know. I'm happy to slow down. Yeah? Just tell me. Then what are the complications of the reproductive system? Those are the symptoms that one would have. And then we are talking about what all different conditions that one can develop because of imbalance in the hormones, or the imbalance as per Ayurveda in the Artha Bahasrotas, in the female reproductive system. So we get infertility, PCOS, tube blocks, endometriosis, miscarriages, fibroids, menstrual disorders like amenorrhea, means where a woman doesn't get her periods at all. Dysmenorrhea means painful periods, menorrhagia, and also metrorrhagia. So less bleeding, excessive bleeding, some women get maybe bleeding just for 2 days, but very scanty. Some women will get for 10 days, very heavy bleeding. So all that comes under the Artha Bahasrotas, the imbalances in the reproductive system. Menopausal symptoms: when a woman is going through menopause, she's going through a huge roller coaster of emotions, health-wise, body changes happens, and sometimes some women don't understand what's going on. Why am I feeling so vulnerable? Why am I feeling so low? And that's because your body is going through some changes. The quicker you understand, the quicker you do something towards it naturally, you will see that you start to feel a little better. And if you understand why you're going through this, then it is easier to deal with it as well, help of diet, home remedies, etc. During and after pregnancy complications, Artha Bahasrotas, that is the female reproductive system. And female reproductive system is very, very complex. Okay. Now coming to polycystic ovaries. So when your periods are regular, when their hormones are balanced, this is the normal ovary. Okay, so what happens is every time you get your menstrual cycle or your periods or you bleed, every month an egg is released, and that egg grows. It's very tiny. It grows up to, say, max it goes up to 20 to 22 millimeters, and then it ruptures, right? And when it ruptures, at that time, if you have an intercourse, and that's the time when you're going to conceive. But what happens, this is the normal cycle when your hormones are absolutely balanced, everything is working well in the body. And that's where Ayurveda says that it's very important to keep Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata means air, Pitta means acids, and Kapha means mucus. When all these three are balanced in the body, everything functions well in the body. The moment there is an imbalance here, a lot of ailment starts to come in the body. And that can also lead to any systematic disorders. So reproductive system, male reproductive system, female reproductive system, respiratory system, digestive system. So anywhere it can cause issues. So here we are talking about Artha Bahasrotas, the female reproductive system. Here also Vata, Pitta, Kapha does play a role. So when here in polycystic ovaries, what happens is your Kapha gets imbalanced along with your hormonal imbalance. So going back to the normal cycle, the normal ovary. So every time an egg is released, it grows, it ruptures, and the ovulation happens, right? But what happens is when there is an imbalance, this egg might not grow not grow at all. It will just remain tiny. Say if it has started at 7 millimeters, it will just stay at 7 or 8 millimeters. It doesn't grow at all. Or what it can happen is that it will grow. It may go up to 22, 24, 30, but it will not rupture. It will not break, right? So it's like a water-filled balloon bubble, and it has to break, but it doesn't break. So what happens in that case? It starts accumulating in the ovaries, on the periphery of the ovaries, and that's where it becomes like a bunch of grapes over a period of time, months back to back. If you have this, then it becomes like a bunch of grapes, and it makes your ovaries bulky. It makes your ovaries heavy. That's why it's called poly. Poly means lots. Cyst means the egg that hasn't ruptured and which has stayed there becomes like a cyst. And ovary, it's because it's sitting around your ovaries. That's why it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or even PCOS. Pcos, what the doctors call here. In Europe and US, that is another name, Pcos. So now that's the polycystic ovaries, where lots of are sitting around the periphery. And a woman's body is, we are born with certain number of eggs in our body. We don't, produce constantly like how men produce sperm constantly. They're not born with a specific number, whereas women are born with specific number of eggs. So a lot of times when women are going through IVF cycles and when their body is overstimulated, what happens is that the reserve reduces, it goes down, and then there's some point where there are no follicles at all. So that's why I'm not in a big favor of doing IVF unless it's absolutely necessary. We try and work naturally towards conception, so that we don't exhaust our reserves of the eggs or the follicles, what you call. Going back to the definition. So PCOS is a very common condition these days amongst women. I have seen girls, teenagers from the age of 14, 15 who have been diagnosed with PCOS. So it's an endocrine system disorder amongst women of reproductive age. And women with PCOS may have enlarged ovaries that contain small collection of fluid called follicles. So like I said, egg is a water-filled bubble. It's a bubble of water, and that just sits around the ovaries and becomes like a cyst and a cluster of small follicles which accumulate around the ovaries. And that's what is PCOS. And I explained you the name as well. Poly means multiple. Cyst means this water-filled bubble kind of a thing which accumulates around the ovaries over a period of time. And because it's around the ovaries, that's why PCOS is the name. What are the causes? What leads to PCOS? And like I said, I've seen a lot of young girls also suffering from PCOS. It's again because of the food habits, the lifestyles that we have these days. The food is all unhealthy food. When you see these youngsters eat their food, if you see lots of chocolates, bakery products, a lot of meat, this contributes towards imbalance in the body. So this causes imbalance in the core vata, pitta, kapha, which then transmits these imbalances to the other systems in the body. So right now we are talking about this imbalance from the food, imbalance from the emotional and mental stress, because when I have female patients coming to me, I always tell them that emotions and hormones go hand in hand. They are like this, they're so tied together that if you are emotionally disturbed, it is going to affect your hormones. And if your hormones are imbalanced, then that is going to affect you emotionally. So a lot of times I don't just treat the hormonal imbalance, I also treat on the work on the emotional aspect, because if I feel there is an emotional correlation with the hormones, I tell my female clients that it is very important to work on both hormones and emotions simultaneously, because if I will just work on your hormones, but if your emotions are up and down, it is again going to, I've tried to balance your hormones, but this emotional roller coaster that you're going through will again impact your hormones. So we are kind of working against each other. So you need to work on both simultaneously. Then excessive consumption of hormonal or contraceptive pills. So that is another thing I say, because when you're taking hormonal tablets or oral contraceptive pills, or if you have a Mirena coil put inside your body, or you're using these patches, you get these hormone patches these days. What are these? These are all artificial hormones, right? So if you have a Mirena coil, a lot of women don't get their periods at all. Their menstruation stops. Why? Because there are certain hormones released in the body, and unknowingly you're adding up to the hormonal imbalance, or even if you didn't have a hormonal imbalance, you're making your body go through that hormonal imbalance. Okay, if you're taking the pills, it is the same. This is the artificial hormones that you're feeding your body every single day, and then it leads to more hormonal imbalance in the body. Patches are the same, Mirena coil is the same. But yes, I do understand contraception is important, it is needed. So you can ask your partner to use a condom, or you can you get these female contraceptive barriers as well that you can use. You can also have a copper T inserted. So copper T is just like a T-shaped, but it is made out of copper. So it goes in and it becomes like a block, a barrier in your tubes, and there's no hormones in it. It is just like a barrier. It is just blocking your tubes so that the follicle doesn't pass through it and doesn't lead to pregnancy. So there are other options available. So you just need to explore, and you just have to be mindful about putting these artificial hormones in your body. A lot of times I have patients who come and tell me, and I tell them that, I'll give you an example of one of my patients. She's 48-year-old, but her husband insists that you continue to use the Mirena coil. She's had it for the last 5 years, and the woman is going through so much of health issues, but because of their understanding, she's not able to get out the Mirena coil. So she brought her husband to me along for her consultation to make me explain him that what her body is going through and why it is important to get rid of that Mirena coil that she has, and to explain that she's already 48, going to be 49 soon. Her chances of falling pregnant are anyways less. She's more towards menopausal phase of her life. So if you're just thinking of that, then I would say just take it off and use a condom for a change. Let her body get a break. Let her live comfortably for some time. Let her enjoy without having to going through this hormonal roller coaster, emotional roller coaster at all times. So finally, I've managed to convince her husband, and he said, okay, I understand what you're saying. She has used it she had it 5 years before, and then 5 years, so 10 years she has been on that. And she's been able to, she has an appointment, I think in the beginning of May, to get her Mirena coil removed. Then coming to hereditary, sometimes it is hereditary as well. So sometimes you will see a lot of women come and say, oh, my mom went into an early menopause. Does that mean I will go into an early menopause? Yes, probably you could, but I would not say it is 100% hereditary, but yes, you have your mom's genes. So somewhere it's going to get passed on to you, but I would not 100% claim that hormonal imbalance or infertility or any PCOS or anything is hereditary. Okay, high insulin levels is again in PCOS is very very important to deal with or to treat, because what happens in this, there's an insulin resistance that a woman develops, and the insulin level fluctuates quite a bit. So sometimes doctors do put the woman on oral contraceptive pills alongside with metformin. So a lot of you might know that metformin is an anti-diabetic drug, but because in PCOS insulin fluctuation happens, they put the women on metformin as well. But I have not seen much changing in the body by taking metformin or by taking the oral contraceptive pills. In fact, you're causing more damage to the body. And what are the symptoms that comes from polycystic ovaries? A lot of these symptoms will come even when you're perimenopausal, when you're going through age-related menopausal, age-related hormonal changes. So I tell my patients that a woman goes through, when at menarche, when you first start your menstrual cycle, your body goes through changes. When you are 16, 18, your body is developing, then you go through a lot of changes. In the early mid-20s, your body goes through natural age-related changes. Whether you do anything, you don't do anything, your body is going through those changes. When you cross your 30s, around 30s, the body is going through a change. At 40, body goes through a drastic change, and a lot of things, hormones fluctuate at that time at the age of 40. Then again, menopausal, it's going through a lot of changes. So when I'm talking about the symptoms, I'm talking about these symptoms. A lot of these symptoms are also there in a woman's body constant. Every time you go on your period, 1 or 2 spots will come on your face. No matter what a woman would try, a few spots here and there will come on the body, on the face, or you will go through the mood swings, you'll go through the craving of sugar. So all this is very normal in a woman's body every month. And we have kind of learned to live with it, or learn to deal with, or we have embraced it with a lot of, very gracefully we have embraced it. And we have said, yes, it is a part of me, and I will manage it in a good way. And I think all women do a fabulous job by managing these every monthly cycles as well. So going back to the symptoms, irregular menstruation, weight gain, acne, abnormal hair growth, hair fall, insulin resistance, all these are coming with PCOS. But irregular menstruation also happens when you're perimenopausal, menopausal, when you start with your periods. When a girl starts with her periods, not immediately she starts getting a cycle every month. She gets 1 cycle, then maybe 2 months she will not have any cycle, because the body is going through the change. So slowly it will get regulated, and she will start to get cycles every month. Same thing when you're going through menopausal phase. You will get periods maybe once in 2 months, then once in 6 months, and once a year. So the body is going through that transition. It is going through that change. And that's why irregularity in the menstruation. And same thing during PCOS or endometriosis. In all of these, there is irregularity in your cycles. Weight gain. So you will see teenage girls, sometimes they gain weight, because they've had a growth spur, because the hormones have changed in the body, they gain weight. Or perimenopausal, menopausal, you will see you suddenly gain weight. Sometimes after the age of 30, 40, body has gone through a change, a shift, and you see, she suddenly gained weight, right? Because the body has gone through a change. Every time your period comes, sometimes when you get a spot, okay, I'm due for my cycle. Sometimes that's your indication that you're going to get your menstrual cycle. Abnormal hair growth is very specific to PCOS, right? Because a lot of women get this facial hair here. They might develop a bit on the chest as well sometimes, on the upper lip, or just overall on the face, but it's mainly in this area, a lot of facial hair. And whenever you see a woman with a lot of acne in this area or spots in this area, it's a very typical hormonal sign that her body has some hormonal imbalance, which needs to be worked on, which needs help. So if you see any of your friends, family, women, you see a lot of acne around this area, try and ask them or suggest them that maybe your body is going through some hormonal changes. And there are a few home remedies that I'm going to mention here. You can just maybe even ask them to take those. Those are natural things that you have in your kitchen. It's not going to harm them. It's not going to cause any side effects. It will only help them. So you can ask them, or you can ask them to change some diet that I'm going to explain you, which will help with their hormones. You can try it yourself. If any one of you have this situation, any of these symptoms, you can try the home remedies. You can try the diet. Hair fall. Hair fall is, again, very typical. When there is a hormonal imbalance, you will always see there's a kind of a very, very typical kind of a hair fall from here. And we call it androgenic alopecia. The modern science calls it androgenic alopecia. Androgenic means it's to do with your hormones, with your so you'll see that women lose hair from this area, or there's a lot of thinning. So you can see their scalp over here. It's very thin hair in this area. That's again because there is a hormonal imbalance in the body. Okay. Insulin resistance is again very, very classical symptom associated with PCOS. You might not see that in endometriosis or perimenopausal or during menarche. It is very specific to PCOS. In that, like I explained, the insulin level fluctuates, and that's why sometimes the modern medicine prescribes you metformin. Now, as per Ayurveda, what is the pathology? What is the cause of PCOS as per Ayurveda? We've spoken about, that yes, there is a hormonal imbalance, but as per Ayurveda, how does this hormonal imbalance happen? What is it that leads to this hormonal imbalance in the body, which then leads to PCOS? Or a lot of this can be also related with heavy bleeding. It can be related with fibroids. It can be related with endometriosis. So it is quite similar, a lot of these pathologies, because Ayurveda treats the Arthavastrotas, or the female reproductive system, as a whole rather than one individual thing. So pathology is improper diet and lifestyle. So in Ayurveda, we say what you put inside your body is very, very important. Be mindful of what you're eating, what you're putting in your body. Sometimes we don't have time, we are rushing ourselves, and we just pick up whatever comes in your hand. Morning, maybe a piece of bread, a croissant, or anything that is there in the hand, a quick fix. We take it and we say, oh, let me just get on with the day. But try and stop that, try and break that habit, try and eat more healthy stuff. So when you have an improper diet, improper lifestyle, when I say improper lifestyle, means a sedentary lifestyle. You're sitting all day, you don't, and a lot of time it is our work which makes us have this sedentary lifestyle, because we are a lot of time just sitting in front of our computers, or if you have a desk job, you're constantly on a desk. Make sure you get up at least a couple of times, walk around, drink some water. Even if you are in the workspace, just do some little simple exercises or stretching. Even if you could just move your arms a little bit, or just put your hands up, stretch a bit. Even that kind of things will help, rather than just sitting in one place. So going back to the pathology, what happens is when you don't have a good diet, you don't have a good lifestyle, that leads to ama. Ama means toxin. So whatever you eat doesn't get digested properly. It remains in your system in form of a sticky substance, which starts to block your channels. And in PCOS, your kapha, the mucus in the body, increases, and it causes low circulation. So then what happens is, because even the toxins in the body is a heavy substance, the mucus is heavy, right? So both of these are heavy. So what happens because of this heaviness in the body, your blood circulation reduces. It impacts your blood circulation, the way the blood circulates in your body. So because of that, the your reproductive organs doesn't get the blood supply that it needs. And that leads to, again, low metabolic fire. So your metabolism becomes very sluggish because of that. And when there is a low metabolism, it affects your pituitary glands, it affects your ovaries, it affects your hormonal imbalance, so it impacts your insulin levels. So a lot of things gets imbalanced in the body. And then because of these imbalances, it causes blockages, it causes inflammation in the body, it causes inflammation in the reproductive system, in your ovaries, in your uterus, in your pelvic area. So a lot of times, because there is a hormonal imbalance, when you're due for your periods, you feel very bloated. If someone has endometriosis, you will see they feel so bloated. They think, I have some women who come and tell me that sometimes I feel as if I'm 2 months pregnant when I get my periods, because that is the amount of bloating it causes in the body. And that is because of these dietary imbalance, which has led to ama imbalance, kapha imbalance, which has then led to have a poor metabolic fire, poor digestive fire, which then blocks your channels, produces water retention in the body. So that is what all happens. And towards the end, that is how it leads, because it causes hormonal imbalance or causes imbalances in the reproductive system. It leads to PCOS or similar thing. It could lead to fibroids, even in fibroid, because it's a growth in the body. Again, there is a lot of ama, toxins, kapha, which leads to fibroids. Endometriosis, again, thickening of the lining of the uterus. That is again all coming from there. So very, very important to make sure we eat healthy, we exercise. When we exercise, we also release happy hormones in our body. We feel good when we exercise, right? So that is why it's very important. It will help you with your stress, it will help you with your anxiety. Hence, lifestyle is very, very important. Then what kind of a pulse will be felt? I don't know, this is not going to be relevant to a lot of you, but there are a lot of students as well in this group. So I thought this will help them to understand that how the pulse of a polycystic ovaries person is. So you will feel there's a vata and pitta felt in the pulse. There's beige. Beige is the kapha. So the pulse feels very heavy, damp. There's a lot of swelling, water retention in the body because of the hormonal imbalance, and there is poor blood circulation. So this is the kind of pulse that you would feel when you see a person with hormonal imbalance or with PCOS, or similar pulse will be for fibroid, very similar pulse will be for endometriosis. So quite similar pulse in all three of these you will feel. So swelling will be there in the body, that is coming again from the hormonal imbalance, and you'll feel the pulse is as if it's a water-filled balloon. You're trying to, if I put a water-filled balloon on my desk, and if I try to reach the desk, I won't be able to reach it because there is that water which doesn't let me penetrate to the desk. And that's how the body is as well. When I check the pulse, so much of water retention that I can't penetrate deep into the pulse. And a lot of times I tell people that my patients that, you know what, I'm going to first work on the water retention. Let me get rid of the water retention that's there in the body, then I'll be able to feel your deeper pulse. So that is how the pulse will be. What is the fundamental treatment? How would you treat hormonal imbalance, or in this case, polycystic ovaries? So Apanvayu is a kind of a vata. This is a lot of technical stuff, but some of you might understand who are the students, but for a lot of other people who are not studying Ayurveda, you might find it very boring or very dull, and you think, oh God, what is she talking? When is she going to stop? So if you feel that way, I'm so sorry. But I think this will help you to understand as well, and this will help you to understand about the diet. This is technical, but this will guide you on how your diet should be and what home remedies one can use. Okay. So Apanavayu is the vata. So what we do is we try to balance the vata in the body. which helps to stimulate the maturation of the follicles, which helps to allow the follicles to mature properly and rupture. Then, because like I explained, either ways, either the follicle grows or it doesn't grow. In both ways, it just sits around the ovaries. So here what we're trying to do is we're trying to balance the vata, trying to balance the hormones so that this cycle becomes normal, it grows and it ruptures. That's a normal cycle, normal follicular cycle. So that's what we're trying to do. When that will happen, what will happen? Nothing will get accumulated, nothing will sit around the ovaries, causing polycystic ovaries. Balance the metabolic fire, improve your digestion, improve your metabolic fire so that whatever you eat gets digested properly and it doesn't cause imbalance of the vata, it doesn't cause imbalance of the kapha, it doesn't cause poor blood circulation, then doesn't cause ama, toxins accumulation in the body. And the third one is to reduce the swelling in the body, to eliminate multiple immature follicles, right? So what, again, water retention is because they sit around the ovaries, they make your ovaries bulky, they make it very heavy. The normal volume of your ovaries is around 4 to 5 cc, but when you have polycystic ovaries, it can go up to 20, 30 cc as well. So we don't want that inflammation around the ovaries, inflammation around the reproductive system. So we try to work on reducing the inflammation. And here also, to reduce the inflammation, the swelling in the body, diet will play a big role. Oops, sorry. It's my desk, which is decided to go up on its own. Just give me one moment here. So that's the fundamental line of treatment, where we are trying to balance the vata in the body, improve the metabolic fire so that kapha doesn't get imbalanced, no toxins are getting accumulated in the body, and reducing the water retention or the swelling from the body. These are some of our herbs that we use to treat PCOS. Grantihar is a herb that we use for any kind of growths or cyst in your body. So even for fibroid, Grantihar is very useful. Even for immature follicles that are sitting around the ovaries. So Grantihar has some active herbs in it, which does like a scraping action. So it kind of scrapes it off, reduces the growth, any kind of a growth or cyst in the body. Kumarika helps to regulate the menstrual cycle, because what happens in PCOS is always the menstrual cycles are delayed. Sometimes I have had patients who have had just 1 or 2 cycles a month, some who would have had cycle every 2-3 months. So it's very important to regulate your cycles, because when you're regulating the cycles, what you're doing is you're regulating the hormones. And how you're regulating your hormones? With the help of diet, lifestyle changes, balancing the vata, balancing the kapha in the body, balancing the ama toxins in the body, or eliminating the ama from your body. Surudai, which improves metabolism. So that's basically Meta Boost now. Stree Sathi also helps to balance the hormones. So the key thing is we're balancing the hormones in a woman's body. Stree Sanjeevani improves the egg quality. So Stree Sanjeevani, I use very selectively, I use it very selectively. So if I feel that a woman is not getting her cycles, in a year she has had 2-3 cycles, or she's not very regular with her cycles, then I would give Stree Sanjeevani to make sure that the egg quality improves, the egg grows and it ruptures. But if that means the egg is not growing at all. In that phase, the egg is not growing. So I want to give something that will help to grow the egg and help it to rupture. But in some cases, like I explained, the egg might grow, but it might not rupture. So the egg is growing properly, but it's not rupturing. So that case, I will not give Stree Sanjeevani, because I don't want the egg to grow, the follicle to grow even more. I don't want it to grow, but not rupture. So that time I will give something that will help to rupture. So I give some home things to apply on around the pelvic area, which will help the follicle to rupture. And also Grantihar will do the work there. So Granthihar is anti-cystic action. So like I said, there are certain herbs which does a scraping action. Then MetaBoost regulates the metabolism, because that's very important. Whatever you eat has to get digested properly. It has to not cause any imbalance of Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, or produce ama in the body or toxins in the body. Kumarika is again ovulation triggering action. It has Sri Sati has a hormone balancing. Sri Sanjeevani is a natural estrogen. So even when women are going through menopause or perimenopausal, I do prescribe Sri Sanjeevani, because it's natural estrogen. And when you're going through menopause, your estrogen levels drop in the body. And hence Sri Sanjeevani helps. And I have seen a lot of women, when they're getting a lot of hot flushes during perimenopausal, menopausal phase, Sri Sanjeevani works really well there. These are some of the herbs that are mentioned, that are there, active herbs that are there in these formulations. So what is the diet? Like I've constantly been telling, food is very important. Food is very important. So what is the diet that you must follow if you have any kind of a hormonal imbalance in the body? Spices like black pepper, cinnamon, coriander, cardamom, fennel, ginger, clove, celery, soya seeds, fenugreek seeds. So everything that helps with the digestion, helps with the metabolism, helps to improve your digestive fire. All of these spices are sharp in nature, are very strong, and they will help to improve your metabolism, improve your digestive fire. What else can you eat? Mung beans. We all talk a lot about mung beans. And why mung beans? Because mung beans are a kind of a superfood, and it helps to, they are very easy to digest. So if you even have a bowl of mung bean soup, after 2-3 hours, you'll again be hungry, because it's so easy to digest that it doesn't impact it's not heavy for your system. It's not heavy for your digestive system. So again, after 2-3 hours, you'll start to feel hungry. Then you have also, they're high in protein. It's a good source of protein as well. So that's good. They're low in carbohydrates. So that's why they're not very heavy to digest, because they're low in carbs. All green leafy vegetables are good. So lots of vegetables, lots of, when I say lots of vegetables, ideally I would say one's diet should be 60% of vegetables. So a huge, if you have a plate, 3/4 of it should be covered with your vegetables, with your greens, or any form of vegetables, steamed, stir-fried, whatever you want to have, or a salad, or even, curry style. If you're making something, you can have that. Then 30% of proteins, that's your lentils, anything that is high in protein. So soya, tofu, some of you might be having meat. So chicken, fish is a better option than having red meat. Eggs, you can have that, but in moderation, all of these, because they are all animal products. And these days, the way the meat is produced, or the way the animals are fed, a lot of time they're injected a lot of hormones in them, so that they produce more milk or they produce more eggs, and it's not a natural phenomena, the natural cycle for the animals. And hence a lot of people are now going vegan, because there's a lot of more awareness about these things. And if there's one documentary, I can't remember the name, but if you see that, you would not want to have dairy products ever, because the cows are injected hormones, oxytocin, pitocin, which are used in a woman's body for labor during childbirth. And these are induced into the animals so that they produce more milk. And the moment they have delivered the calf, they're taken away. The separation is there from the calf and the child, the mother and the child. And that time, the mother goes through a lot of anxiety, goes through, and a lot of hormonal changes happen in them as well when they're going through this phase. And that's when all these are going to affect the milk they are going to produce. It's going to affect the meat they're going to produce. And hence, I'm not in a big favor of these foods. But if you want to try and go more organic, more grass, so who are fed on grass more, or who are looked after, the animals that are looked after and who are happy, rather than who are going through a lot of sorrow, who are going through a lot of grief from separation anxiety from their babies. Going back to organic foods, so that's what I was saying. If you can have even be vegetables these days, to give that color to the vegetable, to give, to make it look nice and pretty. And it's a human mindset. Even we go more towards, oh, the one that looks nice is a better fruit, or it's a better vegetable. But that's not always the case. Sometimes because they have injected so much of fertilizers into them, that's why they grow big, so that's why organic, even for vegetables, because there are less chemicals. I'm not saying there are nothing at all, but there will be less. So that's why try and go more and more for organic food if you can. Then what are you supposed to avoid? Heavy carbs, refined sugar, fatty foods, bakery products, fermented food, processed, stale food, red meat, eggs, normal table salt, pickles, too much of tea, coffee, which is the caffeine, cheese, wheat, fried food, alcohol, smoking. This diet is not only for PCOS. This diet implies to a lot of health conditions in the body. Even if you have cholesterol, diabetes, try and do this diet, and you will see you will feel lighter. Your cholesterol levels, your sugar levels will come under control. Even if you have just a lot of fatigue, try and change your diet, and you will see the change in your body. So whatever I'm giving you with regards to diet is not just for PCOS, but even in general. If you start following these principles in your diet, you will see that you feel much more energetic, much more healthy. And I've seen some of my patients, they come and tell me that, oh, I changed the diet and I thought, I will feel more weak, more tired because I'm just having mung beans and vegetables, but I feel even more energy. I feel charged. I feel like a superwoman. And that's not because of anything else. It's just because you've made these changes to your diet. You've made these changes to your lifestyle. So this is one home remedy. This is very good home remedy when a woman is not getting any periods or has very irregular periods, say is getting a cycle every 3-4 months, or maybe 2-3 cycles a month. This works very good. And I have seen if they follow this, their period starts to get regular. So ajwain seeds, in English, they're called carom seeds, CARROM seeds. 1 teaspoon of dill seeds. If there are any Indians on it, it's called the suadana. And jaggery. Jaggery, even though I've said not to have sugar, but jaggery is a natural form of sugar. In jaggery also you get organic jaggery. If you can use that, that is better. And if you don't want to use jaggery also, that's absolutely fine. You can just mix these two, put a little bit of ghee also if you want in this, and make like take, I would not say 1 teaspoon of each, but if you want to make it in bulk and keep it so that you don't have to do this every day, you can take equal amount of carom seeds powder, dill seeds powder, and put them together, mix them together in a bowl. Add enough jaggery and a bit of ghee if you want to blend it all together and to make it like a dough, I would say, and make like a pound coin size balls and have that every day, 1 ball a day. And you will see that a girl or a woman whose cycles are very irregular, it helps. And there are a lot of women who have gone into early menopause and who still want to try and get their cycles back, then even this is going to be helpful for them. So either you can make like pound coin size balls and you can keep it in a glass jar and have 1 every day, or you can soak it in a cup of water overnight and then boil it in the morning and drink it. So either ways you can use it. So a lot of people don't like to drink certain decoctions. So for them to just have this one bowl in the morning will also be good. So either ways, the properties don't change. What is going to do to the body is not going to change, and it's going to work, whether you take it like a bowl or whether you make it like a decoction and then you drink it. Another home remedy for PCOS is Fennel Seeds. This is Dr. Dipali, who is one of our doctors, one of our mentors as well. We have a photograph, so we just let her be there. She's a beautiful lady. Why not show her as well? So this is another home remedy for PCOS, but this home remedy can also be used for any hormonal imbalance in the body. So if you take 250 grams of fennel seeds powder, 100 grams of cumin powder, 50 grams of coriander powder, 50 grams of carom seeds powder, 10 grams of asafoetida, that is hing. A lot of you might know it with the name of hing as well. Mix all these together and make 60 packets, small packets, maybe with a teaspoon of this, one teaspoon, and take 4 packs every day. You can just take the powder and drink water, or you can mix it in water and drink it. Even if you're going through menopause and if you're getting hot flushes or a lot of mood swings, this is helpful. In menstruation, if you're getting a lot of period pain, cramps in your abdominal pelvic muscles or in your legs, even there, this is going to help you. And a lot of you must have heard about Amrapali. So this is quite a similar formulation. So if you take this, it is going to help you. What are the lifestyle changes that you need to make? Again, because I said lifestyle is very important, just to balance the hormones in the body. It could be for any hormonal situation that either you or any of your friend or family member is going through. Regular exercise, go for walks, do meditation, yoga, playing a sport. If you like to go for swimming, do that. Avoid stress, anxiety, anger, unwanted worries. Try and avoid this as much as you can. Try and stay away from negativity, because if there is negativity around you, that is also going to cause you stress, anxiety, anger, irritation, all of this. Limit the use of contraceptive in the form of pills or the patches or the Meera coil, anything that is a slow releasing hormonal contraceptive. Try and avoid those if you can, because you are causing more imbalance in your body. Yeah. But don't go and tell, oh, Dr. Meera said not to use any contraceptive, and you don't want to fall pregnant. If it's an unwanted pregnancy, you don't want to go through abortion, because that is also going to lead to more hormonal imbalance in the body. So just be careful, be mindful, and try and use form of contraception that are not releasing any artificial hormones in your body. Detox. This Healthy Me Detox works wonders, and I have seen really good results with a lot of patients with hormonal imbalance in their body. So what does this detox do? It does ampachan. So it basically helps to improve your digestion, your metabolic fire. It expels excess of pitta, or removes excess of pitta and ama from the deeper tissues and from your deeper systems in the body through the viration process. Removes excess of vata from the deeper tissues. So this is a detox plan that we have, which is a 1-month plan. I'm sure a lot of you have already gone through it, or some of you are thinking of going through it, and some of you, if you don't know, this is very good for one to go through. And I personally do it every 4 months. Even if I don't have any health problems, I do it every 4 months, just to keep things balanced in my body, to keep my doshas balanced. My dosha is your vata, pitta, and kapha balanced in the body, to eliminate the ama or the toxins from the body. So that is where it really works. What to expect when you follow the diet, the lifestyle, or when you do the detox, that 30 to 50% of improvement in your symptoms of polycystic ovaries in a year, if the diet and lifestyle is followed correctly, 50 to 70% in 2 years if the diet, lifestyle, and everything is followed properly, and 70 to 100% in 3 to 5 years, I would say. And healthy me detox, if you do, it gives much faster result because it works faster, and there's a lot of emphasis on diet and a lot of herbs that you take, which helps to eliminate the pitta, the toxins, balance the vata in your body, all of that. So when you do the detox, it works quicker. Now, my own journey with PCOD, which I wanted to share with all of you. Some of you might know, because when a lot of students come to me, I do tell them about what was my experience when I was going through PCOD and how I have treated myself naturally with the herbs, dietary, lifestyle changes. And I still continue to follow the diet, the lifestyle, because if you clean your body, or if you clean your house, think of your body as your home, your temple, or your place of worship. If you clean your house once a week, and if you don't do anything, what is going to happen? There's going to be clutter again in that house. So what we need to do is we need to do regular cleaning in the house. If you clean it once a month, or once in 2 weeks, or once in a fortnight or something, if you clean, what is going to happen? There's going to be clutter. There's going to be dust accumulation. You will see layers of dust on the windowsill, on your windows, on your floor. Everywhere there will be rubbish. Your clothes will be everywhere. So what we do, we keep tidying it on regular basis, right? So your body is a home as well. Learn to try and keep it as clean as you can, because that's the most precious possession we all have. And if you can learn to keep that clean, learn to maintain that, that's the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Or if you can teach someone else to do that, that's the biggest gift you can give your children, your grandchildren, your partner, your parents. And I also give example that, we look after, we human beings have become so materialistic at some point that we look after a car. We give our car for servicing on regular basis. We give our a boiler. We have contracts for servicing our boiler every year. For everything we have servicing contracts. Do we have a servicing contract for our body? No. We abuse our body time and again with food, lifestyle, stress, all of it. So if you can incorporate even 50% of what we have spoken today, you will see a good change in your body. So going back to my journey, I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to show you my results of PCOS. I have 3 of my reports, which I'm going to share with you. And then we'll go to any of the question and answers that you have. Let me just stop this. I will have to first look for my reports. I should have just incorporated them in the slide, which I didn't. Okay. 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 These are my reports in India, because in London, once you have PCOS, they're not going to check you on regular basis. So whenever I go to India, I get it done there. You can see my name here. So this is the abdominal and pelvic sonography, which was done in 2013. This was the time when I was diagnosed, and both the ovaries show multiple peripherally praised follicles, so which I showed you in the diagram that I showed for PCOS, with the normal ovary and the ovary with polycystic ovaries. So the size of my ovaries is enlarged. My ovaries were slightly enlarged. And if you see the volume, it is 14.7 cc and 17 cc. So it's quite high. So it shows bilateral polycystic ovaries. This is in 2013. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to share the next report. 2015. So now when you'll see the 2015 report, yeah, this is the one, I think. I've got so many things open on my desktop. So if you see, oh, this is the earlier one. Oh, sorry. I'm sharing the same one. Yeah. This is the next one, which is done in 2015. And the reason why my name has changed here, because this is where the hospital where I gave birth to my daughter, and that's my husband's last name. So that's why Meera Sumit has come there, because they had my records from my daughter's birth. And if you see here, the right ovary shows multiple follicles, around 10 to 12 follicles are around the ovaries. The right ovary measures 4.1 into 2.5 centimeters, and the volume is 12. So it was 14 before, if you remember, and it has come down to 12. So it has reduced. The left ovary is normal in size, which is not showing very few follicles, which can happen even if you're in the ovulation phase. It can show. The volume has come down from 17 to 8.4. And it says mildly bulky polycystic appearance in the right ovary. So the left ovary is fine. It is not showing the polycystic appearance, but right ovary was still showing. This is after 2 years. I'm going to stop this and I'll show you my 2018 result. And I think this is the 2018. Yeah, 2018. If you see, and I don't know if you noticed in the first 2013 report, there was also a renal calculi. So there was a kidney stone as well, which also got treated as a side benefit of the Ayurvedic treatment with the diet and herbs and everything, because I had taken Grantihar, which helps to break down any kind of cystic formation. So stone is also hard. So what it would have done, it would have helped to break down that stone into smaller size and then flush it out through the urine. If you see the volume of the ovary, right has come to 4 and the left has come to 5. So absolutely normal. Between 2 to 5 is the normal volume of the ovaries. No significant abnormality, normal abdomen and pelvic sonography. So it took me 5 years to remove it completely and treat it naturally. But if you go to a conventional doctors or your gynecologist, they will say there is no cure for polycystic ovaries. You have it, you just have to learn to live with it, and you just have to manage with the help of your oral contraceptive pills or the metformin. So this is my own story that I wanted to share and show you that how it works, how you can benefit from it. And like I said, it's not, whatever I've explained is not just for PCOS, but it's going to help balancing your hormones in the body. So you all can try yourself some of the home remedies, dietary changes that I've given. And if any one of you who know any of your family member or friends, if they have polycystic ovaries, encourage them to treat it naturally rather than depending on artificial hormones that comes from the oral contraceptive pills, causing more problems in the body. Yeah, I think I have spoken a lot, and I would now like to see if any one of you have any questions, or if you have anything that is a concern for you or your family member, and if you want to ask any questions, feel free.
Dr. Meera, before the questions begin, I just want to say, like, wow, what an incredible presentation. And I think I can see lots of people nodding their heads, because from diet to home remedies to lifestyle to what it is and what it looks like, your diagrams, from even sharing your own personal case and how, you know, the ovaries reduced in size. I mean, it's just been such an incredible, informative presentation. And I just want to send you so much love and gratitude. And normally what we do on these calls, we rub our hands together and we send love, because that was just amazing.
Lots of love to all of you.
I have learned so much just listening to you. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, friends, I'm sure some of you have comments that you want to make or questions that you want to ask. So yeah, please feel free to.
Even if any of you have put any questions in the chat, I will, Mariam, if you can, you know, download that chat and you can send it across to me. And if we are running short of time, I can answer and you can send it back to them. Even we can do that as well, because I know it's quite late. It's almost 20 past 8.
Yes, I think maybe we'll just, yeah, we'll see if let's see if there's any questions.
You can ask as well. I'm not running late for anything. So if you want to ask, I'm here. You can always ask.
Chris says that was an incredible presentation. Thank you so much. Robin says that was amazing. I mean, I think lots of people have just really loved it.
Thank you for listening to me for so long, patiently.
I can see that Abhinav, you have your hand raised. Yes, please unmute.
Thank you, Dr. Meera and Mariam and everybody. What a presentation. Totally impressed. And actually it brings up the hope, like things can get better. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Abhinav. Lovely
My name is Meera. Actually, my son takes the computer all the time and changes the name.
Okay.
And my question is, like, as you said, you know, water retention and you cannot listen. Yesterday, I was taking somebody's pulse and the girl is like 12-year-old, but she's obese already. And it took me some time to find her radial bone and find the pulse. And when I did that, first I could see Pitta really high and Vata, but I couldn't see her kapha. And I have to wait and press a little more deeper. Then I could feel that pressure, and then it was very, very light. So what does that indicate? And when I removed my hand, that impression of that pulse is still with me.
Yeah. So the way you're describing the pulse, it could be because of a lot of AMA as well in the pulse, toxins. Okay. And you did say that she was overweight. Yeah. So that is again indicative that probably there's a lot of AMA toxins in the body. And there could be water retention in the body as well, which is why the pulse was feeling very heavy or you were not able to go deep into the pulse. So if, are you prescribing her any diet or herbs or anything?
No, I went to the park and just was trying everybody's pulse there.
Okay, where do you live?
In California, Turlock.
Okay, right. So maybe in that case, yes, it is because of AMA and water retention. So the diet will play a big role. If you can suggest, I don't know, you might not see her again, but if you see somebody similar, you can always suggest them to go on a 7 days of mung and vegetable diet and try and eat, like I explained, 60% should be vegetables, 30% should be the proteins, and 10% of carbs. If they can follow that diet and regular exercise or any form of physical activity, if they can do, that will also help. And if there's a lot of AMA and water retention, even having a glass of warm ginger water will help. Fresh ginger, you can grate or crush and put it in water, boil it and just have that, because that will help to break the AMA, as well as it will help to reduce the water retention from the body.
Yeah, thank you. And you were mentioning in Health Me Detox program, it removes Vata from tissues and Pitta from tissues. And how do we remove kapha? Like, you know, the channels are blocked. You know, in cancer patients, the blockages are more. So how do we do that?
So in that, what happens, so when you're doing the detox not just helps to eliminate the Vata and Pitta, but it also helps in the body as well. Okay, so because you're stopping all the dairy products which produces mucus anyway, so that's going to help as well. But also there are certain herbs like Super Digest, there is Ampachak or Toxigo in it, which also helps to break down the toxins from the body and to eliminate. And when Ama will eliminate, Kapha is also on the heavier side. So it will help to break down the kapha as well, because the herbs that are there, they're going to break the ama as well as kapha. It will help to break down the kapha in the body and eliminate that from the body as well. So it's not that it's only going to work on the pitta and vata, but it will also work on kapha. But that particular, I was explaining, was with PCOS, that it works on the vata and it works on the pitta and the ama in the body. But yes, it's going to work to eliminate the kapha as well. So detox is helping to balance the body, all the doshas in the body. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that clears up.
Thank you so much for your question. I can see that Janet had a question as well. Janet, would you like to unmute and ask?
Sure. Oh, I'm asking just because I do have PCOS. I have been diagnosed with this, but I did hear you talk about Granthiar.
Yes.
I'm probably not pronouncing it right. What I'm wondering is if it decreases, if it could decrease the lipoma size, because I have a lot of fatty tumors.
That will help with that as well.
That would, okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Granthiar, like I said, is going to help with any kind of growths you have in the body. So even if you have someone, like I had a patient today whom I had given Granthiar, and she said, I have a lipoma on my back. Lipoma is again like a growth. She said, I have a lipoma on my back. Yeah, this lady was with fibroids. So I'd given her Granthiar for a fibroid, and she said, I have lipoma on my back. Can you give me anything for that as well? I said, what I'm giving you for your fibroid is also going to help with your lipoma, because like I was explaining, it has got certain herbs in it, which does a scraping action, and it kind of slowly scrapes it off and reduces in size and flushes it off. So I was explaining the same thing with my scan result. There was a renal calculi, which is a kidney stone that was there. Even that came off because Granthiar helped in breaking down that stone as well, and then flushing it out from the body.
Thank you.
Andrea, I can see your hand is raised.
Thank you, Dr. Meera. It was so interesting. And I was just wanting to ask you something that's slightly different. I had worked in the cosmetic industry maybe through about 20 years of my life, and handled creams and fragrances and all this stuff. And not long ago, maybe a couple of years, it's come out, quite a few homeopathic doctors here and people who know about herbs and things have been warning people, and I was wondering if this is also being done in India, about endocrine disruptors, which totally disrupt your hormone system just by the use of some fragrances and creams on your body. And a friend of mine, for his little granddaughter, he only found 2 suntan lotions, because the sun here in California is extremely strong, 2 suntan lotions that don't have endocrine disruptors in it.
Yes, so that's why you will see people are becoming more and more aware about these things, and people are going for even creams or lotions which are fragrance free, which are naturally made. So I'll give you example. We had been on a holiday 2 weeks ago, and my daughter had a lot of suntan because I didn't use too much of sunblock for her, because I didn't want to use it as much on her. And I had a natural sunblock that I buy from here, from a local person, and it's a company which produces natural. I can't remember the name of the company, but they produce it's very natural sunblock rather than having the ones that you get in the markets, which has a lot of chemicals in it. So she was using that, but the kids want to be in pool all day long and they don't reapply, and she has a lot of tan. And what I used for her was I used some gram flour, I put some turmeric in it, I put some yogurt in it, I made a nice mixture, and I asked her to scrub her face on daily basis. So there is awareness. I'm just giving you an example, but there is an awareness about these things now, and that's why people are going more towards natural stuff rather than using these artificial chemicals, and that goes in the face creams and which goes in the perfumes or in the shampoos or in your conditioners and stuff. So there is awareness, and also in India there is an awareness about these things, and that's why you will see that a lot of cosmetics are now also produced vegan and are cruelty free as well, because yes, they do affect your body, because our skin is the largest organ, right? And your skin does absorb these chemicals slowly over a period of time. So that's why, yes, it is important to use natural products as much as you can.
I was also just wondering, I myself, and I don't know why, as of from about 2017 on, I don't sweat anymore. What can I do about that?
That could be again from the AMA blockages in the body, okay? Because AMA can cause that, and sometimes even if there is poor blood circulation, that can also lead to not sweating or not perspiring. So I would strongly recommend you, if you have not done the detox, I would strongly recommend you to do the detox. And also after doing the detox, sometimes people think if I've done the detox, then that's it. But you need to continue that lifestyle, that, the changes that you've made in your diet for a long term to see the results of it, because these are all natural things that you're doing. So it's not going to change in a month's time, but you need to follow a lifestyle. So try and do a 7 days of mung and vegetable diet every month. Try and take MetaBoost, because MetaBoost helps with the blood circulation as well. And when I look at you, you come across to me more like a Vata person. So Vata, when the Vata increases in the body also, it causes dryness in the body. So doing a bit of oiling internally will also help you. It's like a branch which has gone completely dry. So it's not going to produce any moisture, or it's not going to, I'm just giving very layman examples so that you can understand better. So I would recommend you to take ghee, if you can, in warm water every day. A teaspoon of ghee in warm water every day. That will help you to balance the Vata. Or even if you can take a teaspoon of castor oil once or twice a week at night, that will also help you.
I'm actually cooking the third time I'm doing it. I just finished the detox, and I'm cooking the ghee right now, and it's on the second hour of 9 hours, and I'm doing it according to Dr. Marian G. Yeah.
So this takes time. It's a process, right? It's not, nothing is you're going to change in a couple of months' time. You just have to be consistent with it. Like same thing, when I showed you my reports, it took me 5 years. Just imagine if I'd given up after a year or 6 months and said, oh my God, I can't be bothered. I need to. So you have to be consistent with whatever you do, and you will see the results there. And it is coming from the excess of Vata in the body. We need to balance the Vata and also work on nourishing your body a bit. So that's why ghee will play a good role. So in your food also, if you can use 2-3 teaspoons of ghee every day, and 1 teaspoon in warm water or in oat milk or almond milk, and have that will help you as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Andrea. So I'm going to just take two more questions because we are coming up to almost 22 here, 20 to 9 here in the UK, and I know it's later in other parts of Europe. So I'm just going to ask Linda. Are you there? Because Linda, you've wrote a question. I wonder if you would like to unmute and ask your question. Yes,
Hi,
Linda.
yes, I wrote a question. My question is, I have my tongue coated, even if during the detox process over 30 days, and I drink a lot of water, I do exercise. I just wonder what may have happened or what is going on, because pretty much overall I feel healthy and I feel so active and energized. But it feels like the tongue shouldn't be white, right? Should be like the normal color, especially during the detox and after the detox.
So Linda, if you don't mind, can I ask you to put your camera on so I can see what you look like, and I will be able to give you an idea of what your body type it is and why you're having this issue?
Oh, okay. Well, I was not preparing for that, but you want to see me? Okay.
Okay, right. So Linda, when I look at you, I can see there is a lot of kapha imbalance in the body. You come across to me like a kapha pitta body type. Okay, so when you have too much of kapha in the body, that can lead to a coated tongue.
Okay. What is kapha, my friend?
Yeah. Kapha means mucus.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So do you get cough and cold often?
I can hardly hear you. It's
You get frequent cough and cold?
not at all. No, over the last 2 years. No.
But before, did you have any cough related situations?
Well, let's say when I was 13, 14, no, long ago.
Long ago. And what you had when you were 13, 14?
I had a lot of throat infections and, things related to that. But it was also about allergies because I discovered I am gluten intolerant. And here I changed all that and I don't have problems anymore. No even allergies.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know if anyone else can hear her.
I don't know. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So you said you had a lot of allergy issues because I couldn't hear you.
No,
in
I
between.
don't have allergies. I probably had allergies before, but I realized that I had some allergies to food. Gluten was one of the main, and probably also lactose, but I removed all those from my diet.
Okay. And are you overweight, or were you?
Absolutely
or you used
not.
to be
Look at
overweight?
my hand, very, very skinny, very, very slender, I would say, and
Okay.
strong.
Right. Okay. So I think it's probably coming from the kapha imbalance, and there could be some ama involvement as well, which is leading to this coating of the tongue. And again, I said you have pitta as well. You have pitta in the body. So pitta also indicates sometimes some problem with the functioning of the liver, the way the liver should function. If that's not working properly, then that could lead to toxins, ama in the pulse as well, ama in the body, and that could lead to a white tongue. And if you have changed your diet, your lifestyle, you just have to give it some more time to start working and clearing. And you said you have done the detox. When did you do the detox?
At the beginning of the year, I would say, well, we did it just previous to the one that is starting in May. So it's some months ago. I would say 2 months ago, something like that.
2 months. When is that the first time when you did the detox?
This kind of detox, yes. I've done many other detox programs,
right.
yes.
So, and are you taking any herbs at the moment or nothing at all?
I am taking some herbs at the moment, yes. But you know what?
Yeah.
I would like to ask you as well, since you are the expert on women's health. At the time when we were doing the detox, I talked to one of the doctors of the, many different coaching sessions we had. My skin is clear. However, I have in the past some melasma, that was building up probably because of the sun or whatever you name it. But especially during COVID, we were just hidden in our places in our shelters. And I was wondering, okay, well, why it didn't disappear entirely? It did clear up a bit during the detox, but at some point it stopped. And one of the doctors recommended me to do the steaming, the steam and clear my face. And I did that, and it reduces, but it reduces a little bit, but it hasn't cleared entirely. And I was thinking, what is still blocking the complete healing, if it's appropriate to say healing of my skin? I don't have any other thing like rashes or breakouts, any other thing, but completely removing that little layer of melasma that is still on this part, right? You probably don't even notice it because it's very, very light, but I notice it and I don't like it.
Yes. So Linda, if you don't mind me asking you, how old are you?
Oh, I am very young. I am in my 20s, 30s.
20, 30.
Yeah.
Right. So the reason I asked you, because if you are towards menopausal side, then that can also sometimes call melasma. And the melasma around here, when we call it butterfly cheeks. Okay. And that is again coming down to the hormones. And also it can be if your liver isn't functioning properly, because liver is where all the pitta, the functioning of the pitta is regulated from. And if there is a problem there, then even because of high pitta imbalance in the body or hormonal can lead to this melasma.
Okay.
Okay.
What should I do then?
So are you in touch with any of the Ayush Shakti doctors?
Oh, yes, but not lately. I mean, I probably March and April, I haven't touched base. I just focus on what I have to work on and just this conversation after the...
So which Ayush Shakti doctor? Do you know the name?
The tall doctor, I don't remember his name, the tall, very tall. What is his name? Oh my God, I don't remember his name.
Dr. Ram?
No. He's
Pranav?
so tall, like a...
Dr. Pranav?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So I would strongly recommend you to just write an email to him, or if you have his number, send him a WhatsApp message or something, and discuss this with him as well, because I don't know what plan he has made for you. So it would be good to check with him. But like from what you have told me, it could be from the ama, it can be from the liver functioning, not functioning well, and it can also be from the slight hormonal situation as well.
Okay.
Yeah, worth checking with him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Because I don't know what herbs you're taking at the moment as well.
Yeah, thank you, Linda, for your question. And yeah, just so much gratitude to Dr. Meera. We have one more question and then we will call it, we will end the call. And I can see our lovely Marie has her hand up.
Thank you. Dr. Meera, it is so nice listening to you and understanding. My question is, I really agree with the hormones and the stress. I started my period at 9.5 years, and it was 1 week after I had my tonsils removed. Now you can say tonsil removing, that doesn't mean anything, but I know that I was very, very stressed. I'd never been sick before, 9.5 years, and they could not get me into, how do you say it? Into the anesthesia. Okay. So they gave me a very high dose. And if I talk about it now, I remember things very, very well. I can see that doctor almost hitting me in the face because I was coming through, and he kept yelling, give her more, give her more. If he was now here, I would kill him. Anyhow, it left me with a strange trauma of not wanting to go down. So a beautiful remedy like Bliss or Brain 2, they work very well. but I will take less than normal because I feel it when my nerves are getting affected. Okay, I'm 62 now, and at 60, I had my life always has stress like everybody, and you know how to control with meditation and yoga. But at 60, I had a severe stress period, and then my menstruation stopped. Now I went through the 100 days training and the detox. And while I support my clients, I go with them also again and again. And in December, I went down, really, really went down. And it lasted for 2 months. Never I stopped working. But in that period, I was out, knockout. And I came on at March. Now we live in the end of April. And last month, my period started with the old, the old symptoms, like heavy cramps. When I had my first child, I thought this is nothing because I am having a child every month. I don't hate my period, and I don't hate it that it seems to start again. But Dr. Hemang said it can go away again. But after being so sick, it seems a contradiction that I looked at my body. It was terrible. I didn't eat for 3 weeks and I lost 10 kilos. So when you look in the mirror like a woman, you think, my God, that's an ugly thing I'm looking at. Really, I thought this is the most ugliest thing I've ever seen. But it's so strange. In my feelings, I thought I may look ugly, but I feel very feminine. It was strange. I noticed that feeling. And now with this period thing, I saw that I have the symptoms I always had. If you're talking about hormonal imbalance, when breastfeeding, normally you wait till the child gets hungry again. It kept coming. So after the baby was walking already, there was milk. I stopped with producing milk at 3 years. 3 years after the child is born. And then the last one is now 26 years. And so she was the last one. I have 2 daughters. And the milk produced was till she was 5 years, not like running, like it's always running. It doesn't stop waiting for the child to wake up. No, it keeps on running. And the last child, I had it for 5 years, that every time my period started, you could feel the breasts. And that is what I have now also, that if I drink a lot and I think something is happening, that you feel the swelling of the breast, but not in a negative way, not that you feel the lumps, because I take care of that very much. I noticed that when you take off your bra and there is no obstruction for the circulation, that you don't get those painful lumps in the armpits.
Yeah.
So what I looked at your diet, and I think I will take special care for the diet.
Yes. And also the home remedy that was given with the cumin, coriander, asafoetida, use that home remedy and you will see a good change. So your body is still going through hormonal changes from what I understand. So this will help to, it's not going to start working in a couple of days. Continue it regularly, continue it lifetime if you want, that home remedy, and it will help you to keep your hormones balanced.
Thank you, because my grandmother and my mother went to 65 with their period.
Yeah.
So I thought, I don't mind if you come back, but I want to have control that it is a normal hormonal balance. Yes.
And it's good to have periods till a later age, as long as you can continue, because then the impact on the bones and everything is less. If you go into early menopausal, it can affect your joints. It can affect your body and have side effects. So it's good to continue with your periods as long as you can.
Yes, okay, thank you. Because most of the time when you talk to regular doctors, they said, what are you doing? And you're old already. It's like, I don't feel old. So, and my grandmother had it, my mother had it. What I didn't have was getting a twin at 45 years. That was not. But my mother had at 45 years a twin. They didn't live because of problems with the body.
Oh.
And my grandmother also got twins at 45. So yeah, the hormones goes long time in our
Yes, yes.
lineage.
So if you follow this diet and do the home remedy, you will see the results.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Very much, Marie. Thank you for your question and for your sharing. Okay, friends, so we're coming up to 10 to 9 p.m. here. I just want to, I think, yeah, we're going to come to the end of the call now. I want to say a massive special thank you to Dr. Meera for joining us today, for sharing all of this incredible information and wisdom, ancient wisdom, for giving women who have PCOS hope that there is a way to cure it. And yeah, just I hope that you come again and join us with more information about how Ayurveda can help us. And yeah, can we all just rub our hands together and just send so much love and so much gratitude for Dr. Meera Soni for being here today. And for those of you who had questions and didn't get your question answered, we will look through the questions and I will send them to Dr. Meera, and any answers that she makes, I will put them into the European WhatsApp group so that you can see the answers there. If you're not part of the European WhatsApp group, please contact Jaina and she will be able to send you the link, or you can contact me on Facebook. I'm Mariam Art on Facebook. I want to say thank you to Jaina for being here today, for setting up the call. I want to say thank you to Cece for sending so much love in the chat, for warmly welcoming everybody that joined us today. And just thank you to all of you for coming and joining today and spending this time together. It's so wonderful to be able to connect with so many people around the world and learn together. So thank you, thank you. Okay, friends, so I invite you to unmute, and if you'd like to, you can say I love you and I'm with you, which is a tradition on this call and also the global call. So I invite you to unmute. I love you and I'm with you, friends.
I love you and
I
I'm
love
with
you and I'm with you.
I'm
So
with
good to
you.
see everybody.
I love you and I'm
Amazing information. Thank
I
you, thank
love
you,
you and
thank
I'm with
you.
you.
Appreciate it
I love
greatly.
you and I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Are we going